I'm grateful to be bullied. I'm grateful to be judged. I'm grateful for people to not understand me. I'm grateful that I felt so insecure within myself. I'm grateful that I never loved myself. I'm grateful that I never had a relationship with myself because I didn't know how. I'm grateful that I never understood how amazing I was. I'm grateful that people never saw my worth because it was all part of the process to who I've become. What's up, everyone? How you doing? Welcome to another episode on the Luke Mind Power podcast. It's a blessing to be alive. I'm super excited to be here with you again for another opportunity for us to be grateful for life, to keep moving forward, or maybe you need to take a few steps back, or maybe you need to slow down wherever you are in your life right now. It is a freaking journey, and I'm very grateful to be on this journey with you. Because for real, man, we're all going in a specific direction. We're all trying to survive. Some of us are trying to survive. Some of us have been surviving for quite some time. And many of us are not thriving, So one of the major purposes of the Luke Mind Power podcast, of my life, of what I do, of how I show up and my own journey is to inspire you and empower you and uplift you and help you to overcome your adversity and your challenges and your insecurities and your doubts and your fears and all the bullshit in the past that's stopping you from you being the best version of yourself. The purpose is for you to thrive entirely. Like, there's no other reason other than that. I'm not showing up so you can live a shit life. I'm not being consistent and disciplined and learning through the journeys of, every single day that I have to show up for myself and learn all of my lessons so that then I can jump on here and share my podcast and then teach you how to not live a better life, because I'm not learning my own lessons. That's just stupid, and I'm not here to put out information or energy that's not going to help you, So yeah, the one thing for me as well, I'm learning as well that, we really, really have to find that balance in your life, so that you can be the best version of yourself. And let me tell you, man, this is a process. And for me, it's already been, I started this journey in 2018 of change, but it also started before then. Okay, so many of you guys would probably be listening to this podcast episode, and some of you probably don't even know my story, or I always get DMs through my social platforms of like, Luke, what happened to you, or what's your story, or why do you do what you do, or how did you become a life coach, even, and motivational speaker, and how did you become who you are? So I'm definitely going to touch on that this episode. Because there's so many new followers on all my social media platforms, and I think it's really important that you guys actually know a little bit more about me. And I know that obviously you'll get to learn more about me if you go and research me, and if you go back to episode number 1 on my podcast and go, well, I'm really intrigued or interested or inspired by Luke and his podcast and what he does and his social media platforms and stuff like that. And well, do your research. Go back and listen to my episodes. There's nearly 300 episodes. When this one gets released, there probably will be 300 episodes on the Luke Mind Power podcast. So it's incredible, like how much action is required, how much consistency is required. And I know, like, it's just like, damn, why, if we could achieve our success in a much faster rate would be awesome. But I guess, like, I'm really getting to this place where I'm starting to appreciate the patience and the journey and the time, and we do want the quick fix. We want to achieve that inner peace or that success or that financial abundance or that healthy relationship or whatever that is for you. We really want it, urgently, or whatever. Maybe it's healing your body or becoming more healthy and fitter and whatever that success, whatever you're striving for, we want it instantly, But like where I'm at right now, life is not perfect. There are challenges all around me. And I'm sure that you're experiencing much of the same. Everything definitely does come down to your mindset and the way that you think. Because the way that you think is really how you see. It's your perception and perspective of the outside world is based upon your mind, how you see things, And if you see things in a negative way, well, you'll find a lot of more problems. Like you'll see, you look for problems, you can find them. You look for things that to be grateful for, or things that you do have, or things that are working in your life. Well, you can find them too. So it's really up to you to shift, because the positive things will increase your positive vibration within yourself, which is a very good vibration, which is more of a possibility of optimism and, well, maybe I can do that, or feeling better to be able to actually take some sort of action in your life, And if you're looking at all the problems and you find more problems, and if you look at all the things that are going wrong and you'll find more things that are going wrong, well, that's not a positive vibration. It's a negative vibration. It's going to make you feel less than. You're going to feel lack. You're going to feel like, oh, shit, life is not good, or life's not working out for me, And so then that puts you on a downer, and it's going to be less likely for you to actually want to take some sort of action, less likely for you to actually want to do something to become better, or believe even that it's possible for you to grow, heal, transform, become a better version, change your life. If you're on a negative, does that make sense? Like if you're watching right now, wherever you're watching, just write in the comments, in the chat, in the comments section, it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. Let us know. Because when we become aware of this, we acknowledge, oh yeah, that does make sense. Okay, so I need to shift my mindset. So let's go back to how did I change my mindset, first of all? And I'll tell you the first time that I realized, okay, positive mindset, negative mindset. I know that there's a statement that I use a lot, and I'm sure you guys have heard it as well. Everything happens for a reason. Every situation, circumstance, relationship, everything happens for a reason. Everything comes to teach you something. Are you open to learn? Are you ready to pay attention to what's going on? The one thing that I've definitely mastered, or maybe not mastered, just have identified in terms of my personality, of who I am and how I function and how my mind sees things, is that I'm always looking like I can see shit, And that's the way that I think, is every single thing that happens in my life, I'm like, why did that happen? Why did I meet this person? What can I learn from this experience? Rather than, oh, that was such a waste of time. I'm so stupid. Wow, I should have made better decisions. I'm never going to forgive myself for that. What is the lesson? Rather than feeling like, oh my gosh, life sucks. Even in grief, that's probably one of the hardest things for us is dealing with grief, is dealing with what happens when someone passes that's close to us. Even in that, there's a lesson, but there's no easy, quick fix. It's painful. It's uncomfortable. We go through it. There's no other way out. The only way out is through. But even with grief, it's not, almost like there probably isn't even a way out. It's just something that we learn to live with. And we become stronger because we go through these experiences. It changes us. We think differently. We have different perspectives. Life happens, and as it happens, we learn from it. So it's really having a positive mindset, because if, let's for example say, I go, everything happens for a reason. You go, whatever, Luke, that's a load of shit. Everything happens for a reason. That's a cop-out. Okay, fine. So you're driving down the highway, bang, someone smashes into you. And you're like, for fuck's sake, man, I was on time. I'm going to fucking my appointment, wherever you're going. I'm going to a family function or an event or something, and I get smacked in the back. Someone smashes into me. Okay? Now, I get it. It's an uncomfortable experience. It's frustrating. It's annoying, blah, blah, blah. And then here comes me walking down the street, and I go, hey, just remember, man, everything happens for a reason. And you're like, how the fuck can you say everything happens for a reason, man? I was having a peaceful day. I'm going to wherever I'm going to, and you're telling me everything happens for a reason. I'm like, yeah, man, you just never know what could have happened if you didn't have that accident. Maybe you were meant to have that accident. You never know. Maybe you were turning right at the next exit, following through the next traffic lights, and there was someone running a red light and you would have been T-boned. Life is about perspective, and how you change the way you think is going to affect the way you feel. So if you're able to somehow change your mindset and be able to see things differently in every single aspect of your life, what it creates for you by having that positive outlook, by knowing that everything happens for a reason, there's a meaning for something in everything. Find the meaning. That's why I say that you can change the past, especially if you're listening right now and you're like, okay, I'm going to change my mindset, I'm going to change the way that I think. And now he's saying that you can change the past. And it's like, well, no, you can't, because you can't go back and reverse and undo something. Yeah, that's a fact. I can appreciate that. But we can change the meaning of the past. When I reflect on every single circumstance or situation that I've been through in my life, I definitely saw things differently because I have a different mindset, that I felt like I was being bullied or rejected, or some sort of experience that I went through that was really hard, and I couldn't understand why I had to go through these experiences. And now I look at them and I look at the experiences and I'm like, yeah, they happened on purpose. They happened to help me grow. They happened to teach me what I needed to learn about myself, that I was resilient, that I'm strong enough, that I'm enough, that I'm capable, it was building my character. All of the adverse experiences, all the negativity, all the shit that I went through that may have created insecurity or doubt or fear within my own mind, within the way I perceived myself and how I believed in myself, which I didn't because of all these experiences and how I was raised and how I saw myself in the mirror. But now I look at them and I'm like, yeah, I can change the meaning now, because I can look at myself and I'm like, yeah, I was supposed to be born the way I was born. I was supposed to look the way I looked. I was supposed to be hurt the way I felt hurt because of other people's opinions or judgments against me. That was supposed to happen. I'm grateful to be bullied. I'm grateful to be judged. I'm grateful for people to not understand me. I'm grateful that I felt so insecure within myself. I'm grateful that I never loved myself. I'm grateful that I never had a relationship with myself because I didn't know how. I'm grateful that I never understood how amazing I was. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that people never saw my worth, because it was all part of the process to who I've become. Because at one point I had to stop and take a look at myself and say, hey man, like, are you what they say you are? Or do you want to become someone that you choose to become? So that's really the question that I had to kind of go through in my life, and helping you to really understand everything happens for a reason. Because it does. For me, it creates so much peace, man. You know, I see every single situation, person I interact with, like everything that happens around me in my life all the time is happening for a reason. There's an opportunity in there's always something to learn. You know, it doesn't matter what happens. So this is why I have so much peace, because I have that kind of mindset. I don't have the mindset of like getting frustrated and angry, even though in business sometimes that does happen. But again, when I move past that part, it's always like, yeah, it's happening for a reason, bro. You need to learn that lesson. You need to go through that process, you know? And some of the experiences are uncomfortable, but again, it definitely helps when you have a positive mindset, okay? And in order to help, yes, that kind of way of thinking does help, but how else can you aid your mind being positive? One of the best ways is to make sure that you minimize the amount of information, negative information, that you consume on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. So 2018, when I was living with my sister, I started to pay attention that, you know, every time I came home, you know, she was in the kitchen, TV, the news, 5 o'clock or 6 p.m., the news is on. And I started to pay attention to this because I'd be living with her, and I'd come back, and that was just on all the time. And I was like, this is fucking shit. Why are we watching this for? It's all negative. Except for the story at the end about the cat that they fucking rescued from the drain. Oh my gosh. Yeah, after they've planted all this negative information into your mind about all the car crashes and the plane crashes and the murders and people robbing each other and shit, Like, if they really cared about us, think about it, man. If the media really had the best interests of the world at heart, or the government, for example, wouldn't it be right for them to put good information on the TV? But that wouldn't sell, wouldn't get people's attention. Fear is what gets our attention. Negativity is what our mind is attracted to, because it's like, oh my gosh, did you see what happened? How many times has someone sent you a news article and gone, hey, look what happened here? Oh my God, did you see this? Instead, there could be like a daily news channel that is like, hey man, did you do your gratitude? Have you done your exercise for today? Make sure you're eating healthy. Have you said your prayers? Have you done a bit of self-reflection? Have you gone for a walk? Not one freaking media outlet out there is starting by saying, welcome to tonight's National 9 News. I'm freaking Lou Klovich, and I'm going to remind you to fucking get your pen out and get your journal out and do your 10 things that you're grateful for. And I'm not going to continue in this news bulletin until you've fucking done that. Hurry up. And then once you've finished, get up and do freaking 50 star jumps and move your body. No one does that shit because they don't give a fuck about your health. And whether or not they are doing it intentionally, and I'm sure, I'm not judging anyone who works in media or anything like that, but I mean, look at the information that they're sharing. It's not positive, it's negative. So that was the awareness that I became very, very conscious of, which has helped me to be more positive and to live on this positive vibration, because I switched it off. And I was like, okay, that's it, no more. And then sometimes, like when I go to my sister's place, I'm sitting in the back, and my other sister, and they've got a TV at the back and the news is on. And that actually was pissing me off, because I'm trying to like protect my mind. And I'll be sitting at the back there and the news is on. And I literally, like now, if I go there, I'll get the remote and I'll put it on YouTube and put some music on, But it's like an addiction, And when you are depressed, when you have a negative mind, when you're consuming things that don't inspire you or empower you or uplift you, then it works for them, because it keeps you on that low vibration so that you don't go out there and become a multimillionaire. You don't go out there and become really, really successful, because negative thinking doesn't produce positive results. A negative mind is not going to be a mind that goes out there and goes, oh, I'm going to fucking get my goals. I'm going to achieve my dreams. I'm going to go out there and crush it. A negative mind is like procrastination. I couldn't be bothered. Fucking, I'm never going to achieve it anyway. Who gives a shit? Don't worry about it. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. It's probably not going to work anyway. That's negative thinking. That was one of the secrets to my success, is to be very, very conscious of like what it is that you're consuming into your mind. Now, obviously, social media has a lot of that now as well. Definitely, because I have a business and I do a lot of marketing through social media, I'm definitely blessed there, where I'm not someone who's literally just sitting on social media just for the sake of it because I've got nothing else to do. You know what I mean? I'm actually using the social media platforms to spread positive energy, to spread positive information, to help people become more aware of like their own challenges and how they can overcome them, give people that extra motivation. And it's a daily grind. Motivation is like bathing, it wears off. You have to do it every day, and repetition is the mother of skill. I'm learning myself, especially with my morning routine now, that that staying consistent in practicing gratitude, writing it down, saying a prayer or in the morning, or doing some sort of just moment of silence and reflection and meditation is really healthy for my mind. And I'm integrating that, but through repetition, I'm taking control of my day, which I love, because the world will take control of you straight away if you let it, So going back to like what inspired me, I want to talk about this, and I'll share it because I've shared it with many of my clients, and I'd love for you guys to hear this as well, because I always go and revert back to like, what were the moments in my life that caused me to become who I am, and that's why I say everyone that comes into your life plays a role. Everybody plays. Some people are in your life for a day, for a week, for a month, for a couple of years, for a long time. Some come for a short time, but they come to teach you. It's amazing how I'm able to, and you're able to start to pay attention to this, because you realize that, wow, these are like messengers, people coming into your life to actually teach you what you need to learn so that you can evolve into your power. It's more about respecting and treating yourself right when it's time for you to like leave that relationship or leave that friendship, or not communicate with someone anymore, for example, when you know that it's not the right fit, or you know that it's not healthy for you, or you know that, it's time for you to move on. It's not serving you anymore, for example. A job, relationship, whatever that is, even family, doesn't matter. Whatever that is, there comes a time where you realize, okay, it's time for me to grow. It's time for me to evolve. It's time for me to move on. It's time for me to let that go, whatever that is. I think it was, 2016, New Year's Eve, I met a beautiful girl. And it's amazing how love and relationships have such an impact in our life, And she was amazing. And I remember meeting her, and from like, I think first sight, I was like, she's the one, And I mean, and this is what I'm saying, like these couple of these experiences really, really shaped, there was that one, and then there was another experience back in 2012. So these experiences of like falling in love, or, yearning for that connection, and it not going the way that you wanted it or planned it to be, really, really hurts, or believed that it was going to be, right? So after meeting this person and really believing and feeling like it was in such alignment, and it was like, it felt right for me, so I pursued it, and I did whatever I could to show her that I was worthy of her love, and that I was the right person for her as well. But it just wasn't the right timing, and she was at a different place in her life. But like, I still believed, and I was just like, I'm going to try my best to get it over the line for her to see that, I'm worthy of her, But then there also goes the question of like, well, what about her being worthy of you? It's not just a one-way street. But back then, I didn't have that self-worth. I didn't have that self-awareness. I didn't even know who I was. Like back then, I was still snorting cocaine and fucking just living that life. I was working for the government, Monday to Friday job. I didn't have really a purpose. I didn't know what I was good at. I didn't know what my greatness was. I didn't have my life in order. So the beautiful thing about this experience for me was that I needed to go through that experience of like wanting someone, showing up. Like I would go to church, man, so she would see me there, because I wanted her to show her that, that I wanted her, and that I was willing to be there, to see her. And so it's amazing, because like I was basically shifting myself so that I would be in her presence. So I was willing to do whatever it took, for her to see me. If that meant going to church, I'll fucking go to church. I don't give a shit. As long as I can be with you, I'll fucking go to church. Right? So I was shifting myself, and I always say, like, you shouldn't have to change yourself to get somebody's approval. You should be yourself, be your true, authentic self. And I believe that in relationships, that if it's meant to work, it will work because you don't change yourself to fit somebody else's mold. You are able to be yourself, and you're able to be received that way. That's where your peace is, because then you're just living a lie, changing yourself for somebody else. And I know that in relationships, when you love each other and you connect deeply, that you do make slight adjustments. That's fine. I get that. That's just what happens when you're in love, But you have a true innate authenticity and authentic nature that that that's your peace. Because when you can truly, truly be yourself in a relationship or in a friendship or in your workspace, whatever that is in life, that's your peace. That's where you're in alignment. That's where you're able to be free, not confined to, I better not do this because then they're going to judge me. And that's where you're fucked, where you have to shrink yourself, be quiet, right? Don't talk too loud. Don't talk too much. Don't expose too much, because you'll be judged and scrutinized, and people will look at you weird. So I was willing to do whatever it took, but at the time there were other situations that were happening in her life as well. I can appreciate that. But all in all, the process for me through that experience, I know that she came into my life to teach me what I needed to learn about myself. And so after things weren't kind of going the way that I had planned them to go, I sort of had a moment of reflection. And I was like, if I want a woman like that, I want to be able to provide for her. I want to be able to be that leader. I want to be able to be that man that has her back, that can support her and give to her in every single way. And in terms of where I was financially, there's no way I would have been able to provide. I was not in the place where I wanted to be. And I really sat there and I was just like, bro, I'm like, if you want a woman like that, man, you need to fucking get your shit together, because you got nothing. All you're doing is working full time for the government. That's it. You're renting some fucking 1-bedroom apartment. If you want a woman like that, you got to fucking make her feel safe, bro, that you've got her back, that you can fucking take care of shit. So that is where everything fucking changed for me. And the moment that I thought about it, I was like, and this is how the law of attraction works mentally, right? Listen to this, guys. I said to myself, fuck, all right, so I've got to make more money. How am I going to make more money? I'm working full-time, Monday to Friday. Sometimes I work overtime on Saturdays as a driver tester, taking out people for their licenses, taking it for the tests. And as soon as I thought it, I was like, well, fuck, I need another job. Give me another job. And so that was the new way of thinking, the new thought, a new job, another job, a second job. So then obviously I thought, yeah, okay, I'm going to start doing some investments, working with my brother-in-law, doing some investments with him maybe. And I was like, yeah, but I've got to get more money. Where am I going to get more money from? So the following week, and follow this, right? Because I'm telling you, everyone comes into your life for a reason. So for example, I go back to work and a friend of mine at work comes up to me. He goes, hey, dude, guess what, man? I got another job. Yeah, bro, I'm doing this driving job for this company. And in the mornings, I go to the airport, pick up the airline pilots, and then I drop them at home. And then in the afternoon, I go and pick them up from their house. I take them to the airport. Or I pick them up from the airport, they're landing, and I take them home. Yeah, it's fucking easy, man. Look at this. I got paid $700 last week. And I'm thinking, fucking hell. I go, bro, get me a job. Fucking oath, I'm in. So from that thinking, if I hadn't gone through that experience, if I wasn't thinking like, fuck, I need another job, or I need to become better, or I need to make more money, or I need to like get my shit together, make some investments, make some more money, then when he would have said to me, hey, bro, I got another job, I would have been like, yeah, good on ya. I wouldn't have given a shit. This is the crazy part about your life and your journey. If you start paying attention, and you start asking the universal God, for help or guidance or whatever that was. And at the time, I'm not religious or anything like that, but I put it out there and I was like, I need to get another job. I spoke it, when I went back in this relationship in 2012, where I waited like nearly a year for me to see my fiance who I was supposed to marry, and then that fell through. And then when I came back, because she wasn't ready to commit, when I came back to Australia, I said, you know what, fuck this. I'm not waiting around because I waited so long for her and she rejected me. If there's another woman that's ready, if I'm ready for another girl in my life or girlfriend, whatever, I'm open to it. Man, within a week, I met someone else. Someone new came into my life. And the same thing, a lot of lessons from that relationship. But I'm just saying, like, when you put something out there, don't be surprised if it starts showing up in your life very quickly. It's a thought, and it's the law of attraction, okay? And that's why Earl Nightingale says that you become what you think about. Your reality, your thoughts create your reality, So that was the moment there where then I started working a second job, and, that got me moving, started making more money, and thinking differently. And then obviously when my grandmother passed, which is my father's mother, in Poland, in Warsaw, I think it was February 2018. And when I heard that, I've had a very deep rooted connection to Poland, to the culture, to my family there. And obviously, that's my dad's mum. So I just had this really deep connection there, and I'd seen her maybe 3 or 4 times. And when I heard that she passed, that was very difficult. I was in Sydney at the time, in Erskineville. And I went and saw my sister, and then, I remember breaking down and crying. And so I immediately booked myself a flight with my dad, and we went to the funeral. So it was interesting because, there was a few moments there. I remember one of my cousins talking to me about something that she said to him about life. Don't do drugs, don't drink alcohol, don't do all this stuff. Even that conversation was planted into my mind. And because at the time, I was snorting cocaine, I was had heaps of it at my place. And I was just in that life, so lack of purpose and just kind of people pleasing, and also just being open and just partying, and just every weekend was doing something. Every weekend was drinking. Every weekend was going out. And so then, coming back to Australia, that was the moment where I feel that her spirit, my grandmother's spirit, came back with me to Australia. And I feel like she's my guardian angel in a sense, like she's probably here sitting with me, watching me talk, because everything changed from there. It was that moment I come back, and just, it was such a shift of like, what are you doing, Luke? Like, this is not your life. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. Like, there's something else. And that was where I said, I'm moving to Poland. And that's where I say that risk you're afraid to take, it will change your life. There's a quote out there that says, the risk you're afraid to take might change your life. And I have to revert and say, every decision and choice is going to change your life. It's the truth. Every choice you make. So the risk that you're afraid to take right now, it's going to change your life. Take it. And so I made that decision to move to Poland, which just transpired a ripple effect of, like a domino effect of decisions and decisions and choices and choices and choices, which led me down the path of change. Like, that's how. And then if you think about it, right, it's over 6 years now. And it's like gone at the click of a finger. Like, time goes really quickly. And I was 33 then. I'm 39 now. And it was action, consistency, change, curiosity, try, fail, learn, make mistakes, fall down, get back up, solitude, no more relationships, no more girlfriends. Focus on yourself, learn to love yourself, learn to believe in yourself, take action, grow, invest in yourself, go learn and be taught by other speakers that are really successful in the industry. Invest in your personal development, become a better version of yourself, take your health seriously, surround yourself with the right fucking people, let go of people that aren't going in the direction that you're going. Love people from a distance, set healthy boundaries, even from your family. Like, there's so many things that you have to go through and that I've had to like go through myself in order for me to become who I am and then now maintain that. Because you don't do all this work and then just go, all right, guys, moving back to Erskineville into the 1-bedroom apartment. I'm going to go live that fucking life again and do the same shit, but I'm this person. Doesn't make sense. You know, once you evolve and you say yes to change, you say yes to transformation, you say yes to the next level, you're fucking done. You say bye-bye to that version of you. It's not about them not being there anymore, because I look back at that guy in 2015, 16, 13, 2010, 2007, I was living in Hong Kong. Like, that guy was living, trying, learning. So are you. We're always learning. It's not about looking back at yourself and going, you're a fucking idiot, man. Why didn't you wake up earlier? Why didn't you realize earlier? Why didn't you grow? Why didn't you leave that relationship? Why didn't you change your life earlier? Why didn't you take the risk earlier? It wasn't meant to be then. You were supposed to go through all those experiences and learn from them and be hurt from them and go through uncomfortable challenges to get to this point where you are right now. And I pray and I hope that by listening to this episode right now, and if you haven't shared this with your friends, go ahead and share it, whether you're watching on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're watching. Share this with 5 of your friends. Share it on your pages, because someone's going to listen to this story, someone's going to listen to this podcast, and they're going to actually change. It's going to inspire someone who's going to be triggered to go, this decision I've been contemplating, I'm making it right now. Not waiting another 6 months, not waiting another 12 months, not waiting another fucking 3 years. I'm making it right now. I've had enough. I needed to hear this. Someone needs to hear this story. Someone needs to hear this and be inspired by it so that they take action and change their fucking lives. And what other greater purpose is there in our life than to be in inspiration, to figure out your calling, to figure out your purpose, to learn to appreciate the powerful, amazing person that you are? To pour into yourself, to give to yourself, to become strong, to become the better version of yourself, and then to share your energy with the world, your story. So many of us are fucking scared to talk, man. And it's like, man, this communication is the key. You know, you want to be the change. Well, you got to learn to be a better communicator. And in saying that, if that's something that you're interested in, then all you need to do is send us a message on Instagram and say, hey, Luke, I'm interested in your speaking program. Simple as that. You know, because I have a speaking program that takes you through the same process as what I went through back in 2018 when I did a speaking program that helped me become aware of self-love. It helped me become a better communicator. And from then on, man, it was done, man. I was just like, oh my God, this is it. I needed to become better, more confident with communication. So it's crazy how time can fly, but it's also crazy and amazing how every single person that comes into your life for a reason, for a purpose, and helps you evolve. You know, and it's not about sitting back now. I don't sit back at all to any people that I met in the past with any anger, hate. You know, when you grow in self-love and build a healthy, positive relationship with yourself, that's what then you have within yourself to give. So I don't walk around and hate on people or judge people or criticize people or anything like that, because I don't have that within myself. I don't judge myself, so I don't judge others. I love what one of my clients, Peter, said when he was speaking. I got him to come up and speak at my event in Sydney, and he was talking about self-love because he's just mastered the art of, you know, practicing self-love and doing the mirror work. And you know, he always jumps on in our WhatsApp chats in our group coaching program, and he's like, have you done your mirror work? What are you doing? Hurry up. You know, so his reminders are so powerful. But he said one thing, he goes, I don't have time to judge other people because I don't judge myself. And he only was able to learn that because of practicing self-love, learning to love himself, feeling. And that's why I'm saying, like, fill yourself up with positive information, fill yourself up with positive affirmations, fill yourself up with love, unconditional love. Now, that doesn't mean the same thing as self-worth, because let me tell you something, guys. One of the things that, and I'll finish up with this, okay? One of the biggest problems that we have is not feeling enough. We don't feel enough. A lot of the times why we're not feeling enough is because we're looking at what we lack. So I'm not enough because I'm not in a relationship. I'm not enough because I'm not successful. I'm not enough because I've been abused or I've been through some sort of adverse experience in my life. I'm not enough because now my partner has been deceased or passed and now I'm by myself and now I'm not enough anymore. I was enough when I was in a relationship. I'm not enough because I'm not working in a job that I love and someone is. I'm not enough because I'm the only sibling and my parents didn't have more children. So I'm lonely and I'm by myself and I don't feel enough. I should have a brother and a sister or some shit like that, right? Whatever your story is, there's a reason. I'm not enough because I was physically abused as a child and my parents belted the shit out of me. I'm not enough because they hurt me and I'm traumatized, but because of those experiences, I'm not enough. Whatever that is, right? So the question is, how do we get out of this, like, I'm not enoughness? And I'll tell you the answer. It's by building self-worth. You know, and I know that it's powerful for me to post something on social media and write, you are enough, as a timely reminder that, you know, I know that maybe you don't feel like you're enough, but you are. It's going back and reflecting on those experiences that made you feel like you weren't enough, that now you've continuously ruminated on and transpired all through your life to this point that now you believe that you're not enough because of what happened and because of those experiences that you've constantly just thought and thought and thought and thought about, which, again, Elle Nightingale says that you become what you think about. Repetition of a thought transpires into a feeling, which then transpires into your believing of who it is that you think that you are and how you see yourself. It's not a quick fix of like walking around and doing a positive affirmation like, I'm enough, I'm enough, I'm enough, I'm enough, I'm enough, and just continuing to say that and say that and say that. Because, yeah, your mind will listen to it, but it's also a feeling. It's not just a mental conditioning. It's not just you planting your seeds into your mind every single day saying, I'm enough, I'm enough, and I'm enough, but I'm working in a job that I hate, but I'm not in a healthy relationship, but I'm not respected by my peers, but I'm, you know, not happy in my life, but I'm enough, but I'm enough, but I'm enough. No, it's not going to fucking work like that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, that it's not just a quick fix where you can just tell yourself that you're enough and you're good. I mean, if that works for you, then great, do that. But I've learned through my own experiences that that's not what's going to make you feel, because it's a feeling. It's feeling that I'm enough. It's feeling good. It's feeling powerful. It's feeling healthy. It's feeling vibrant. It's feeling optimistic. It's feeling like, fuck yeah, let's fucking go. I'm excited about life. Not like waking up and going, oh, fuck, I don't feel enough. Couldn't be bothered. Fuck work. Let me get all the money that I just got paid and go gamble it, because I don't give a fuck. Who cares? So there's a difference, right? You can say, well, learning to love yourself is going to make you feel enough. No, it's not. Learning to love yourself is going to give you more of an appreciation of feeling within yourself that you can have self-compassion for yourself, that you can love yourself, that you can look at yourself in the mirror and accept yourself for who you are. But then building that I am enoughness, that comes from self-worth. That comes from working on your personal development. That comes from changing your whole reality, comes from changing your whole mindset, comes from reprogramming your mind, comes from actually doing the fucking work, ladies and gentlemen. Because what you're doing is you're basically rebuilding yourself from the ground up. You're building the strong foundation from the ground up, like a house, man. You're pouring the concrete first. And there's a lot of different aspects that I'll take you through in order for you to develop yourself, because what you're basically saying is, okay, this is the version of myself that I've lived for many, many years, and this isn't serving me anymore. I'm ready to completely transform my life. I'm ready to become someone I've never been before, because you're going to start doing shit you never done before. When you start doing shit you never done before, wow, your whole life changes. You want different, you got to start thinking different. You got to start doing different. You want a different life. You want to feel different, but you keep doing the same shit, thinking the same, being the same, surrounding yourself with the same. And shit ain't going to change if you keep doing that shit. So this is where, as Tony Robbins says, he built Tony Robbins. He wasn't Tony Robbins before. He had to rebuild. He had to create this version, just like myself. I had to rebuild myself. I had to focus on myself. I had to give myself more time. I had to experience solitude, which over time has created like self-worth, has created the feeling of like, I feel enough. And it's not about me achieving or receiving some sort of validation or claps or approval from the world. Nah, it's not about that. It's about me being able to appreciate it for myself. What am I doing? What I do, is it fulfilling? Who I've become, is that something I'm proud of? Am I happy with the results of my actions and the way that I've shown up for myself, the changes that I've made in my life? Am I happy with that? Am I happy with the way that I think about myself? All of that come together, and I'm able to sit and go, yeah, I feel enough. I'm not enough because you tell me I'm enough. I'm not relying on your fucking validation or approval, not relying on gratification from the world. If that's your mindset, well, you'll be waiting a long time. And you'll never feel full and whole within yourself. You'll always be empty because you're constantly, something outside of you has to come in, And it's like my belief in being in control. I love this concept of you being in control of your life. And I know that we all have different experiences, so don't judge me. Don't, you can if you want, I don't care. But I'm just saying it from my point of view. Like, for example, I've drunk alcohol for fucking so many years. And I remember one of our members who joined us for our event, and she asked me a question about alcohol. She said she gave up alcohol. She's been sober for this long. I was like, wow, congratulations. So amazing. It's awesome. Whatever works for you, ladies and gentlemen. For me, I gave up drinking for about 12 months in 2018. Why did I give it up? Because, again, I didn't have purpose. I didn't have direction. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know who I was. I needed to let go of everything that was distracting me and lowering my vibration so that I could get control of my life, right? So the one thing that I'm really, really dedicated to believing and to being, and it's a knowing of like nothing. And this is what I'm really passionate about, because I know I went to Alcoholics Anonymous and I sat there, and I've shared this story before, but I'll share it again. And everybody in that room was saying, alcohol has the power over me. And when I heard this, I was like, wow. It's the same thing as saying cocaine has the power over me. Marijuana has the power over me. Like all these things, these addictions, it's an external force. It's an external substance. It's something from outside of yourself that you are honoring and saying that has more power than me. And that was motivational for me. I actually really enjoyed that, because I was like, fuck you. Alcohol is more powerful than me. Fuck off. I'm more powerful. So again, it's a mindset, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to give myself away to something else. I got 2 bottles of vodka right there. There's a Belvedere and a Ciroc. It's sitting right there. I'm not tempted to go, I better fucking have a drink. I don't give a fuck. If I feel like having a drink or making a fucking drink, I will. But I got priorities, man. I got fucking things I got to stay accountable for. I got health to maintain. I got things that are more important than me getting fucking trashed. And the truth is, man, I enjoy going to a bar, having a fucking couple of nice cocktails, and then fucking relaxing. I enjoy that. So The point of why I'm sharing this is because we can easily give ourselves away too easily. Let everything control us. It's like, bro, it's the same thing with the negativity, the negative news. You can let that control you. And that's what naturally does happen. It's about your mind. Are you in control of your mind, or is your mind in control of you? Or is the outside circumstances or situations or substances controlling your life? Because I think this is the ultimate freedom. You having your own back and being in control. For me, it feels fucking mad. You know, I love not being controlled. I'm in control. All right. You get the point. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're watching on a replay, you're watching on YouTube, or you're watching or listening on Spotify, or watching on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, I appreciate you guys. If you're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for leaving reviews. If you haven't left me a 5-star rating or review on the Apple Podcast platform or Spotify, please do me a huge favor. It really helps my platforms to grow and be seen by more people. So if you could leave me a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, that would be absolutely amazing. If you're watching on Facebook, share this on your pages, share this positive energy with people. More people will wake up and change their lives and unlock their greatness. That's the whole purpose of this episode. And guess what? I'll be back with another episode very, very soon. So just finally, also, I would like to, not all of my family listen to, or friends or people that I am close to or was close to listen to my podcast, but I would like to take this opportunity to just extend my gratitude, deepest gratitude to everybody who I've met in person, to every friend I've ever had, to my sisters, Caroline, Dorothy, Christine, to my mom, my dad, to Danilo Hung, to my manager, Renee, to my team, Robin, Mandy, Precious, Mary Hill, to my uncle in Poland, to my cousins, because every single person has had an impact on my life. And I wouldn't be the person that I am today. To all the girlfriends, ex-girlfriends that I've had, to all these experiences, to every person that has bullied me, that has called me names, to every person that has physically abused me, thank you. Mentally abused me, thank you. You came into my life for a reason, and I'm very grateful for all of the experiences. I'm grateful for all of the love. I'm grateful for all of the support. My brother-in-laws, Andrew, Vlad, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for not giving up on me and supporting me and never doubting me and pushing me as well. I love you guys. And if you're watching this right now, I love you too. And I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.